everybody, Eric Soulbox out in the shop today. Getting my assembly on, having some French pressed coffee. So my wheel bearing, my front wheel bearing on the GL 1500 failed on the freeway the other day. I haven't really done an update on that bike. There was some question whether or not I was going to be able to get a title to that because the owner had died and it jumped through all these hoops. I had to have a state inspection, all this stuff. I do have a title coming for that bike now. There was a point at which I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be able to get it. And some of you probably don't realize, so I bought this $800 Goldwing with 29,000 miles on it. Sweet bike. I haven't really done an update on it. I've been riding it a lot. I've basically been going through it, working out mechanical kinks. It sat since I think 2014 or 2015 under a bike cover somewhere. And I think a lot of moisture got up underneath of that cover, like the pipes have some rust and stuff on them. That's the problem with bike covers is that, yeah, it's keeping the sun and the rain off of the top of your bike, but here in Western Washington, moisture gets up underneath of that cover and it can't get back out. And so long-term solution bike covers aren't a real good deal here in Washington, but anyway, I've been riding the GL 1500 and kind of thinking to myself, I would roll it over into a corner and I would just kind of, the front end just didn't sound quite right, but I didn't really have a frame of reference. And so I didn't know if there was an issue going on or not, but I had kind of been thinking, I don't know if the front wheel bearings are quite right. I think maybe moisture over the course of those years where it sat might have gotten into those bearings. I think I've put probably pretty close to 1,000 miles on that bike now. And so I was out on the freeway the other morning, you know, doing 70, 75 with the cruise control on. And sometimes I like to tap the front brake to turn the cruise control off. And so I tap the front brake and I feel this pronounced little tick, almost like a headset feels when it's too loose. And so I'm like, oh man, I think that's that wheel bearing is probably is bad. And sure enough, that's exactly what it is. There's a bunch of slop in that front wheel now, and so when I got home, I ordered up a kit. I'm gonna probably, if I've got time today, I'm gonna put this on the front of that bike. Get it fixed up. The rear ones probably are gonna, I haven't really checked them, but you know, they'll probably be next. The moisture really is the culprit. I don't know that that's for sure the case, but that would be my guess. Really enjoying that bike. I've got that 1200 too, that 87 Goldwing 1200. That's basically a runner. It needs some odds and ends and stuff. I wish I got that bike just like a week or two before I found the 1500. It's such a good deal. And now I'm kind of kicking myself. I wish I hadn't even gotten the 1200. I've spent some money on a new windscreen and stuff for it. And I've just got so many other projects going on that it's hard to make time for a bike that I really honestly don't want to ride anyway. But I probably ought to get it fixed up and on the road and try to find somebody that wants to ride it. That bike's only got 29,000 miles on it too, which is real low miles. Somebody should be out enjoying it, but the truth is I'm going to ride the 1500 and I just don't have the time. Pannier season's coming. We are, as of today, about a month out from spring, I think. Yesterday was the Super Bowl and it was a total blowout. So I'm excited the spring's on the way. Give me perpetual spring like year round and I would be one very happy camper. I'm not a big fan of the winter. But anyway, Pannier season's about to really kick off. My phone's been ringing, lots of inquiries, few orders here and there, but a lot of it is just people inquiring that are trying to decide what they want to do for the season, guys that are working on getting their bikes set up or whatever. Spring is generally when I am busiest, pannier-wise. That's when everybody's got trips coming up for the summer and stuff, and they're all trying to get everything dialed in. And you know, there's a lot of bike sales in the summertime and stuff too, and so I still continue to sell, but spring is definitely my busiest time of year. And so right now what I'm working on, I've got extra cases built that are in stock. I picked up a pallet of aluminum that's sitting over there last Friday. Today is Monday, and what am I doing? I'm out of order here, not paying attention. So I picked that up on Friday so that I could jump in and get some more of them built this week. Trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit so that when people call, they're already built and all I have to do is ship them. I do have one order pending right now that I'll probably ship later on this afternoon. I need to take into the shipping room and get boxed up and ready to go out. Just side cases and a shorter top box, real easy to fill that order. Everything's basically ready to go. So, really glad to see spring is on the horizon. Winters are typically kind of difficult to get by when it's not motorcycle season. Been buying machinist tools. You know, assembling is really gratifying because that's when I get to see all my work come together as a final, you know, finished unit, something that's built, ready to be sold. But it's also one of the hardest parts too. What I tend to do is try to find things that work well, like figuring out how to get the hinges on there so that they would sit square, come up with a game plan so that they came out exactly right every single time. That's what I'm always after, is I'm looking for assembly techniques where I can do the same thing every single time and get the same exact result every single time. Getting the hinges and these latches and the catches on, that's all been kind of an interesting process. Sometimes I'll talk to somebody and they'll be wanting like to order a box without this stuff on it, thinking they can put it together themselves, or they want replacement parts or whatever. The assembly is actually really one of the hardest parts of getting this completely right. And so I know it sounds like it would be super simple to do, but the truth is it really isn't. But I do definitely enjoy this part of it. I've got a couple of box bodies that didn't come out right that are down there on the floor. I think I'm going to build a lid for one of them and turn it into a mailbox. For the front of the house, I want to put a big opening like this so that the mailman can come up, just slide my mail in, and then of course it'll lock. I can open it up whenever I check my mail, get my mail out of the top. Put a nice American flag thing on the side of it. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's one of the projects that's been on my mind for a long time, but you know, it's hard to make that a priority when you've got a million other projects in the shop that need to be worked on. Like the powder coating oven, the door on it, it slides, but it doesn't slide on wheels. I've got this game plan to put it on some skateboard bearings so it'll slide open real easy. You know, it's probably 4 or 5 hour project, and it's been put off for like 2 years now, just cause, you know, time. It just seems like almost all of my time in this shop has to be dedicated to me making my living, and I get very little time for just the little side projects. And like, I would like to be using my mill and my lathe for making little odds and ends. Mostly I use them to make more tools so I can make more tools. But you know, there's some stuff like I want to be, I've got some plans. I just printed out plans for this little like gas powered airplane engine. And I want to build one, and I've got the tools to do it. I just don't have the time to do it. I just think it'd be really cool, fun little project, but you know, where am I going to find an extra 100 hours of shop time, right? So anyway, here's a solo box. If you want to order a set, give me a shout. Talk to y'all later.